Trump has warned us about the drug known as fentanyl. I mean, we've been hearing about this for some time. It's getting worse. Now, how many Americans is it killing? And how many of those deaths can be attributed to China? Wow, that's the big new part of this story, and an Ingraham Angle investigation next. President Trump has been sounding the alarm over fentanyl, but are enough people actually listening? Now, first, some background on this incredibly hideous, awful, deadly drug, where it's coming from. Now, fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, often sold as a street drug. Now, it gets, this is hard to believe, at times 50 times stronger than heroin. Now, in 2015, it surpassed prescription opioids as the most lethal overdose substance. Now it's linked to nearly 3 times as many deaths, nearly 32,000 Americans last year. Now, that number 10 years ago, it wasn't even 3,000. The drug is largely produced illicitly in China, where it enters the United States. Well, 2 ways. How does it get here? First, directly into the country through parcels, different parcels, component parts. Second, it's shipped to Mexico, oftentimes component parts put together there and then smuggled into the United States by the cartels. Here now is Derek Maltz, former special agent in charge of the DEA. Derek, just today, China said America could do more to stop fentanyl.
Of course America can do more. They need to do more because people are dying at record levels. I mean, poor families and communities around this country are waking up to the horror of their children passed out and dead from overdoses of this poison coming from China and Mexico. So yes, the U.S. needs to do a lot more. I like to say how President Trump inherited a dysfunctional mess. And now everybody wants to know, why is everybody addicted to these drugs? Because Big Pharma was pumping out the drugs for years, and then the Mexican cartels took complete advantage.
Well, $572 million judgment in court today against, I believe it was Johnson & Johnson in Oklahoma on a issue of opioid addiction as well. We'll see if that gets overturned on appeal. But for the Chinese to say you could do more to stop fentanyl, they know exactly what they're doing. Right. And again, this isn't a joke. That people are dead, found with needles stuck in their arms, in abandoned cars, homeless encampments. People are dead on the streets of L.A. We've heard Dr. Drew talk about that.
Right, Laura, just so people know in America that the Chinese are way more involved in the drug business than sending fentanyl to the U.S. They're involved in the money laundering now with all the cartel money going back to China, the trade-based money laundering. They're involved with selling all the drug paraphernalia that they're using to put in the little envelopes in New York. They stamp the envelopes. They're using their connections in China and their ability to make so much money, and they're absolutely dominating, working with the Mexican cartels because they're making billions. And they do know it's a weapons of mass destruction against this country.
It's Mexico and China together killing our people. Derek, thank you for your work on this, and thank you for being here tonight. We're going to be right back.